welcome to another heartfelt session of LB's Talk. I'm your host Benzu Oli, and as always, it's a pleasure to have you with us, whether you're watching live or joining us later online. Each time we come together, we aim to create a safe and open space, a space where real stories are shared, hearts are connected, and awareness begin to grow. Today's topic is something truly special, a conversation between survivor and savior. It's more than just a title, it's a journey of courage, care, and compassion. It's about those silent battles women face and the strength that emerges when they speak out, support one another, and dare to heal. When we talk about women's health, especially gynecological health, it's often wrapped in silence and discomfort. But the truth is, behind every story of pain, there is also a story of survival. And behind every survivor, there is someone who cared enough to listen, to guide, and to save. That is what this conversation is all about. Understanding both sides of healing, the one who fought through it and the one who stood beside. We are deeply honored to have two incredible women with us tonight. Kath Mazzella OAM, a remarkable woman, a vulva cancer survivor, and a fearless advocate for women's intimate health. Kath has decided her life to breaking the silence around gynecological issues and inspiring women to speak their truth with confidence and pride. And alongside, we have Dr. Alina Khadka, a compassionate healthcare professional who believes that awareness and empathy are just as powerful as medicine itself. Dr. Elina has worked tirelessly to promote open communication between patients and practitioners, reminding us that healing begins with understanding. Together, these two voices, a survivor and a savior, will take us on a journey of reflection, learning, and empowerment. So, as you listen tonight, I invite you not to just share their words, but to feel their courage. Think about women in your life, mother, sister, friends, who may need this awareness, this conversation, this reminder that their health and their voice matter. Let's open our heart and our mind. Here we begin a conversation between survivor and savior. Hi, Kath. Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, Benju. That was a great introduction, and I'm so pleased to have the opportunity to share my story so that others can learn from my experience, but also to be speaking alongside doctors like Alina, who believe in sort of creating a new way of getting the message out. So, thanks very much for allowing me to come today. So, I just wanted to share when I was first diagnosed many 30 years ago with vulval cancer. I'd never even heard of vulval cancer. In fact, I didn't know even what a vulval was. I felt frightened and ashamed and very alone when this happened to me. And it was just, there's no other word for it but tragic that I was floundering, trying to look for answers of how and why would I have vulval cancer. So I've had my vulva removed, which is a very sad thing for any woman to endure, but will always be sad if we don't get the message out there and talk about our stories. So what gave me the strength? At first, my strength came from wanting to live for my family and for myself, and as you would if you're basically given a death sentence, as I thought it was. But I also found strength in learning from the experience. And the more I understood about my body, the less afraid I felt. And I discovered something really powerful. And that's why I sit here today with Benju and Alina and to see how we can break the barriers of hundreds and thousands of years of social programming that we should be ashamed. I discovered the word pudendum, and the Latin version of that word says female genitalia, one who should and ought to be ashamed, the shameful part of a woman. So for a long time, I was living with this shame along with other women and even women's organisations. It's like, "Oh, we don't talk about that because it's shameful." And I just thought, I can't live in the world as it is. So that's what made me seek out. I put an advertisement in a Woman's Day magazine, and all these ladies hand wrote me these horrific, horrible stories. Excuse me. But they had nowhere to turn, so they were turning to me, and I thought, I don't know what to do with all these stories. Excuse me. So when I began to share my stories, other women said that they had suffered too, and that gave me courage and hope to try and help those women. It's like women we're even speaking to tonight. You know, you may be afraid and you may even see me as shameful in even speaking out. But I'd like you to question, why do I feel shameful and where does this shameful come from? And what is it that you can do about breaking down the shame? And my answer to that is to talk about it. You talk about it to your next door neighbour, you talk about it to your mother, sisters, daughters. Say, this lady is talking about vulval health. And so that way we can get the conversation started. So, do you want me to keep going, Benju?
Yes, I want you to keep going, but I want to ask something to you. So, like, I do have one questions. Like, how did you deal with the stigma and lack of conversation around gynecological health, Kath?
Well, the way I learned how to live with it, because I faced it. I faced the women's organisations who didn't want to talk about it. I faced the male gynecologists. It's like, well, you know, they're in control. And I faced it and faced it and faced it until I got the understanding. But when I was first had vulval cancer, I felt the deep shock and fear. And but I wanted to live for my family. But over time, I realised that me being silent and all that I'm learning, it made me feel alone. But by sharing, it gives you courage. And when we speak, we find others walking in the same path. And in your culture, too, I believe women draw strength from each other, from your mothers, sisters, and friends. That connection gives us power. But if we don't talk about this amazing part of our bodies, we lack that power. And if we can understand, you know, I feel as though I'm not the woman that I used to be, obviously, but, you know, I've just got a sense of power that I can sit here with you and talk about these things. And I'm not afraid of anybody sort of saying, well, you can't do that, because I know my rights, my human right is that I can speak about these things, whether people like it or not, because I'm in the business of saving women's lives. So does that answer what you're asking?
Yes, Kath. You are never wrong. I can feel that aura when I speak with you, the power that you have and the confidence that you have. I know that came with lots of suffering that you had 30 years back, and the pain that you have inside you made you so strong, and I can feel that. I guess everyone can feel that, Kath. Okay,
Mm.
let me move to other question that I have in my mind is, there are still so many women who live in fear, afraid to talk about their symptoms or seek help. What message would you like to share with them today?
Well, I would like to gain your knowledge, and even in women's organisations, the International Gynecological Awareness Day, which I established, I'm asking these organisations to celebrate gynecological health, because even the very word, it turns people away. And I think if we can use that as a tool and sort of think, okay, we're going to do something about that. And it just, we've all got to keep driving the same path, because unless we all come together, it's always going to be like this for another 100,000 years. And I still don't quite understand why there's some women leaders out there that are still reluctant. They know that this happens to women. Just let me point out there that it is it's a less common women's cancers, but I don't care if it only happens to one woman. It happens to us all. But I know that there is a lot of women enduring vulval health conditions, not just cancer. But because of the shame, there's no funding, there's no research, there's no support. And somehow or other, we have to sort of be the same as the breast cancer women. And just have a look how they've all come together, and they've lobbied and they've fought forever and they got the funding. But it's, there doesn't seem to be a lot of shame around the breast, but it's the vulva that we need to break down. And I'm hoping to do that in my lifetime. So, um, yeah, well, that's about it for that, for the time being.
Slowly and steady wins the race, Cat. I know
Something like
this
that.
world is this world is changing slowly, and I can feel that uh, I can feel, like, I can see the people who are connected with you. They the people who are connected with you very personally. I can sense that they are very confident, and I personally feel like that because when I I felt that my self-esteem is very low, but you are the one uh, who is just pushing me to do something, or pushing me to say something, spread awareness, and mm, to explore my potential that I have. And the thing that you said just now about the cancer, all cancer that you were talking about, yes, I feel that too, because it's all about funding, right? When we talk
Mm,
about the health thing, the health is wealth. Yes, and wealth
mm,
is totally connected with the health. If we have money, we are going to have better health, right? So funding is one of the most important thing, and like everyone who is working in this field, or the government who is there to help people with this cancer thing, I think this would help people with this funding thing. I guess every cancer should be treated equally, like breast cancer, vulva cancer, or any other cancer. This should be prioritized in the same way. So yes, Kath, I am with you with that. So is there anything you want to share with us?
Well, you mentioned about cancer. You see, I figure that we've got to have the knowledge before a gynecological cancer diagnosis because, there's young women out there with polycystic ovaries and endometriosis. There's millions and millions and millions of those women with these conditions out there. But sometimes, one thing can lead to another. And if the doctors are not educated and understand what's happening, it's very easy just to brush things off and say, oh, well, it's just thrush or it's just whatever. Because there's a condition called lichen sclerosis, which in Australia, the statistics by the Jean Hales Women's Health says it's 1 in 80 women have got lichen sclerosis of the vulva. And it's very debilitating for these women, but because they're afraid to speak out, it's it, it breaks my heart to think that I can speak out as I do. But when these other women have written to me and ring me, and it's like that they don't have a voice, they don't have the courage to speak out. So the more we can speak out, the better. But even the doctors sometimes avoid the words, and they call it a vagina. They call it a vagina because women are used to calling it a vagina, but we certainly wouldn't call a penis as testicles, would we? I mean, that would be silly. So, um, but but I just remind myself that the word vulva is not a dirty word because it's where we get our sexual pleasure. It's where we have a lot of enjoyment in life, in our intimate life, in ourselves, and it's time we sort of made that a normal thing and not such a shameful thing. Our bodies give life, and how can that be shameful if it gives us life? So that's an important message I'd like to get across.
And hearing it from someone who has lived with it, that gives hope in, like, that gives us hope, like, uh you you are one of the strongest women who is speaking after suffering a lot, and we may not find with other people, like they might be suffering with their disease, and they choose not to speak, like
mm,
they
mm,
deal with their own symptoms, they deal with their suffering, and they choose to they choose to keep quiet. But women like you who is sharing your experience is one of the most expensive thing that people should pay attention. Like, I always tell my friends, my husband, that the experience that we have is very expensive.
mm,
Even though we are even though we have small experience about something that might be very important to other
mm,
people, the thing that you are sharing to us in our 20s, in our 30s, is very important, because the, the thing that you suffer, that might happen to me or someone else in coming life, and
mm,
I might pay attention, like, oh, like I need to seek attention, like I need to seek help.
mm, mm,
Like, these are the thing that everyone should pay attention, Kath. And don't worry, the awareness that you are spreading, the I am already taking it, and I know Dr. Elena, being a savior, she's taking this thing that you are spreading around us. So in future or in present, I can assure you that other people are also there who are listening to you, and who are taking this thing very seriously in their life. Also, one more thing, Kath, I want to ask you personally, what is the role of male around this gynecological health? Is there anything you want to share about this?
I'd love to share about that because uh, after this happened to me, I went home and my life was just tipped upside down. And my husband had to pick up the pieces of the family and whatever happened in our relationship and all that sort of thing. But he didn't know, he didn't understand. And 18 months after, he actually had 5 bypasses. And I think he was about 47 or even younger because the men are not educated and the men are left behind. And I have a feeling that, men are being left behind with women's empowerment and everything else. I just feel as though we need to bring the men into the picture and just let them know that, that we are sort of in the dark, but we need to turn the light on so that, the men can join with us to we walk the same path. And it's like having Dr. Alina with us, speaking with me alongside me as a health consumer. That's where the power lies, where the expertise comes in and where the lived experience comes in. But we bring the men in at the same time. So, yeah, but my husband has learned a lot along the way as well, and he's an empowered soul as well. So, it's a shame he's not here to share his thoughts as well. So, we're working on that at the moment.
Even after this much suffering, I can feel so much positive inside you, Kath. I don't know how you manage all this. If like if I get fever, I start being negative. But when look at you, you are so positive. After so many things that happened with you, like, you are a true inspiration, Kath.
Yes, but let me tell you, Benju, that I lived. I'm still breathing. I've still got a family. I can still live my life. You can't see what I've got, and um, and I prefer that you didn't see what I've got because it's not a pretty picture. But um, I was going to say something about that. Yes, I know some women that have passed from this and they beg me, please, Kat, please do something about it. And so I just feel as though it's my responsibility to, to share the message but what I feel sorry for is those 1 in 80 women that have got lichen sclerosis, irritation of the vulva, but they've got nowhere to turn and they just have to sit there and not say anything. I'm not that sort of person. I've learned that by being silent doesn't help the next woman in my life and in the world. So Yeah, I've found this piece of empowerment, and I'm quite satisfied with that. But I'm still not satisfied that it hasn't, after 30 years, that it hasn't gone as far as I wanted to do. And I was hoping that the International Gynecological Awareness Day, which I'm establishing, um, it was passed by the Seroptimus Southeast Asia Pacific for the Seroptimus Morton in Queensland for their Best Practice Award for the Gynae Awareness Day. So I'm hoping by me speaking out about this today that wherever you are in your corner of the world, that you may consider to work out how you can use the International Gynecological Awareness Day to because we need to bring a bit of fun into gynecology. The very word gynecology or vulva, and people go, and I think, but we shouldn't be frightened like this. But one of my, I'm not sure whether this is correct for your culture or whatever, but I do work cardboard cutout knicker workshops. And we just decorate the knickers, and while we're talking together, then we're sharing. My mother's got this, my sister's got that, or and that way we can sort of share our knowledge together. And this is a fun and important way to share the message. And
Yes.
people say, "Oh, you shouldn't have knickers," but I think we have bras for breast cancer. Why can't we have knickers for gynecology? So, anybody wants to get in touch with me about that, I can give you some more information.
Yes, I know you are always open to connections, Kat.
Mm.
We will
Yes.
get back to you. Let's welcome Dr. Elena, co-founder of Elvis Talk, to this platform. Hi, Dr. Elena.
Hi,
How are you today?
I'm all good. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, I know you are feeling bored. Okay, let's jump
No, I'm
into.
enjoying the conversation. Like, it's very, it's like one of the nice experience to hear from someone courageous like Kat.
Yes, yes, I accept that. Okay. Um, I do have a few questions for you, Dr. Elena, as being a savior and someone from health background.
For starting, I just want, I can't move forward without thanking Kat because thank you, Kat, for sharing your story.
My
Because
pleasure.
everyone have been suffering from this one, but no one have courage to share this.
Mm,
And like as a doctor, I see symptoms, diagnosis, and treatments every day. But what you have brought today, like it is something that no medical textbook can teach. Your
mm,
courage, honesty, and strength remind us why this conversation matters so much. So
Mm.
by speaking your truth, you not only break silence for yourself, but also open door for countless other women who are still afraid to speak, like they are hiding their pain. So you are their strength. Your voice gives other permission to seek help and also to heal and to realize that they are not alone. So it's an honor to learn from you and to stand beside you today. So thank you for inspiring us and for showing what real bravery looks like. Thank
It's
you,
my
Kat.
pleasure. Thank
This
you.
is this is where your real beauty lies, Kat. Look, a
Yeah.
survivor is respecting, like a savior is respecting a survivor. Like this is one of the most beautiful thing that I have heard from Dr. Elena. Thank you so much, Dr. Elena.
Yeah, okay. Because I just want, by hearing her, like, we can't stop, because she's one of the inspiration. Like nobody have, everybody suffer in their in today's world. Like everybody have their own sufferings, but no one have courage to bring their sufferings to the outside world. And like, they are also in one, like they are only thinking about themselves, but she have courage to create awareness to others also, like who are suffering from these types of cancers and all the difficulties. So thank you, Kat.
It's my
Okay,
pleasure. But
sorry,
can I
Benzo. I just yes,
I just
yes.
wanted to ask why in this day and age it is like that, and what are your thoughts how we can break this stigma?
Yeah, from like gynecological, like for to breaking the stigma, first of all, you must need to speak up. And communication is most crucial in this part. Like if they are not able to talk, then we can't listen to what they want to share.
Yeah.
So it's more, the main important thing is they need to have awareness about what they are suffering from. Like they need to understand what they are suffering from. That is not normal. They need to, at first, they need to understand themselves that what they are suffering, that is not normal. And second one, they need to speak up about that openly. Like they should not be afraid of like, this is normal. Should I tell this to the doctor or not? Should I tell this to the other relatives or not? Is this is normal? So should I seek help or not? They shouldn't have this much of questions in their mind when they need to seek help. So to break this stigma, first they need to understand like what they are suffering is not normal.
But I think there's power in the women sharing their stories. But how in your community, in Nepal, how do you think we can empower women to speak out?
um, uh, like to help this woman to speak, like we need to create awareness from different platform. Like we need to tell it's every from starting from home. Like we need to teach those who can understand, like we young generation or those who have knowledge. They need to share this in general population, like starting from home, your mother, your sister, your friends. Starting from them, we can create awareness, and we can also create some, like in from social platform nowadays. In social platform, it is one of the most accessible platform. Every old people, every young people, they are busy scrolling social platforms. So we can also create some awareness program through social platform. And mostly we should not be ashamed to talk about it in our family first. If we are open, if we are open in our family first, then we can obviously open it with our friends, with our relatives. Then slowly, one by one, we can go up to the whole world.
Yeah,
So
no,
in Nepal
that's
also
a
this
great idea.
applies.
But from your cultural point of view, to do the knickers decoration in amongst women's health when they have their social communities, um, well, I'm trying to find a way that fits in with your culture that can have a fun perspective, not something that's got to read it out of a book. How can we create a bit more fun with the average person, woman in the community?
For this, I think we need to first we need to remove the stigma that we cannot speak about knickers and all this in public. First
Right.
of all, we need to educate the people about it. Like people are ashamed of talking about knickers and all this in public. So this should be first. Education is the most important thing, because if someone have education about this, they don't feel ashamed of talking about this. And like in fun ways, uh, like in public places like theaters, malls, we can also keep posters regarding it, and people will automatically think, oh yeah, this poster was there, so we should not be ashamed to talk about it. It is one of the most public places, so why are we not talking about it? They will think in this way. And like we can also create some short reels. Nowadays, it is all about social platform, and all
Mm.
like all people are engaged in social platform. So we can also create some sort of in a funny way. We can create
Mm.
some videos. We can create some reels and some stories to educate people in a funny way, so that they would also watch it with fun, and in return they will take it as education purpose also.
So, do you know of anybody in the film documentary area that they could bring something together? This is not a fun way of doing it, but I remember seeing an endometriosis documentary, and there was this beautiful girl dancing around with beautiful white clothes on, and then all of a sudden this dark image came through and went into the woman's body, and it was the endometriosis that was approaching her body. And it really hit home to me. It really did. I thought, well, that's how it feels for women when these things are happening. So if you know anybody that you could approach, or even the government to pay, your government to pay for somebody to do a documentary. But I know that I was always told by the white women not to say those naughty words in front of, the ethnic women and Aboriginal women. But I was invited to speak to 1,000 women in Kuala Lumpur for the Seroptimus, and I was terrified. I thought, how am I supposed to say these words? But the president said, she said, we want you to talk about these things. But there was even a doctor there that was worried about what I was going to say. So, it was my most nervous thing I've ever done in my life. But I soon realized that by doing that, this is where I got my piece of power as well. It's like, I'm allowed to talk about these things. I'm allowed to say things in front of 1,000 ethnic women. And, I don't know what those ethnic women thought about me, but the thing is, I shared my knowledge. And by that, I built my empowerment a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And I think that's where a lot of these experiences that I've had is only teaching me about life. But the thing is, I'm not getting any younger, and I'm a bit concerned that, like Benju and you have come on the scene now, because I do see a global picture. I don't think about, my local area. It's like, and having the Southeast Asia Pacific um, giving the best practice, I'm looking for other countries to sort of think, wow, there is a movement, there's happening here. But I still am challenged to find leaders to change the way we think about gynecology.
Yeah, slowly, like we can. It's not like one day tasks, because this change, this awareness, this all are like a movement. We need to create one by one. Like we cannot just think that today I will today I will give some educational message, and tomorrow everything will be changed. It's not like that. So for this we it's like one brick and another brick.
Yeah.
Bricks make one big home. It's same like that. Like we need to start from grassroots level. We need to start educating more and more general people about this. And like Kath, you are doing so great work. Like you are not feeling ashamed of talking about this in public places, and like you are talking this in such big platform, and many get inspired by you. So like similarly, they will also have courage to talk about it, as the way you are expressing your sufferings, you are creating awareness. So like
Yeah.
you are doing great, and we are also like many people will be encouraged, and they will learn from this, that they need to speak of. Similarly, like this we can also create, if we create campaigns, and we can go to general public with some more courageous people like you, then they will learn more and they will try to speak more.
Yes, no, you're right there. But I just want to ask you personally, what is it that you can put in your consulting room that can, when women walk in and they look at it and they say, oh, that's interesting, and it's a conversation, because already they're coming in to talk about perhaps their gynecological health and they're already nervous. But if you've got something really, really sharp, or really something that sort of say, oh, isn't that lovely? Well, then it makes them sort of feel a bit more not so
Comfortable.
scared.
Mm.
Yeah, just a
Yeah,
suggestion.
we can also keep, like from just you reminded me of this. Okay, if we keep posters, they're like most of them don't read that poster. Okay, but
No.
if we have courage, if doctors, as a doctor or medical person, other people, and in hospital or in many OPDs, if they have courage, if there we can put one knickers behind our desks or like in our OPD room, then many people will be like, oh, what is this? Like,
Yes,
why is she
yes,
keeping this in this room? Like, they will have some curiosity, okay? Like, oh, what is this? And they will ask themselves like, why are you keeping this? Then we can also initiate conversation in this way, like, this is for this, I'm raising awareness like this. So
yes,
I think we should keep some eye-catchy things, because everybody cannot read posters, and everybody
no,
can't are not educated well enough to read that and understand that. But if you keep some things like some pics, not things like, but pictures like knickers and anything not related to education, but eye-catchy things, okay?
yes.
Then they will question themselves about, oh, what is this? Why are you keeping this? I
So I
think,
challenge you next time we speak that you will
yeah,
tell me something that you've done special to sort of put in the room for
Doctor,
your
okay.
let
for
me
your
let
people.
me let me cut you guys in between. Dr. Elena is giving your example to her patient that
Yeah.
you should open up while you are sharing your information. Like she's giving you example, and she told me last time that I gave example of cat to my patient, that there is one brave lady who suffered so much in her life, and she has that courage to speak in front of all people that they might not suffer in future. So I know that Dr. Elena is giving your example, Kath.
Yeah, well, that's really, really great. But I just want to point out here, um, Alina, have you seen the Royal Australian New Zealand College of Obstetrics and Gynecology magazine?
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yes, in our first webinar, Kath, that was our title image. Do you remember our first
Yes,
webinar?
Yeah, we
yeah.
PBT
did that
has.
to uterus, and we talked about it as story also, yes, Benzu, about that
Yeah.
picture.
But for me to see that, it's groundbreaking because they've had last two female gynecologists at the Ranscog. Um, it shows that how productive they are and how forward thinking they are. And so therefore it allows the next doctor who is in the room, in their consulting rooms, it's like, oh, well, if they can do that at the Royal College, well, then I can be a little bit more open. And I'm just so damn proud of that magazine.
That is a big achievement, Kath.
Mm, it is. And furthermore, I may be having an article in a woman's magazine at the end of the month. I'll wait till I see it to believe it. But it's for the Volvember month. So I just thought we'd come up with the Volvember, and I think the magazine is going to be talking about Volvember. So how they're going to come about it, I don't know. But if we've got the Ranscog magazine and if we've got a woman's magazine, I want you to see the progress that's really happening and how exciting it is for women like you two to see the progress, and it just gives you a bit more not a bit more encouragement to be a bit more out there with your community.
Yeah,
We
we are
both of us
trying.
are very lucky to have you in this platform, Kath. When when Dr. Elena told me that let's bring Kath as our second speaker, as our second session speaker, I was really happy because like I know
Because yeah,
very
we wanted
personally that
to bring cat voices to every public, like as much as people we can reach out. We want to bring you as an example so that they can speak fearlessly and with more positive aura. So
Yeah.
we just thought of that, and Benzo was, oh yeah, cat is cat is the nice choice.
yeah, because
Well,
it might be a bit difficult for other like Nepalese people to understand why we what we are speaking about, but like for my age people or people who understand English very well, they will take information from you, Kat. You are they can take you as an inspiration, Kat. And also, Dr. Elena told me last time that when we were talking about mental health, many of them came to us and they started telling to talk in Nepali so that they can understand. And I know they might feel find difficult to understand the thing that we are talking here, but they will come up to us that and keep they will ask to us that who is that lady, what is she talking about,
Mm.
and we will be very pleased to tell them that she is talking about this, and like we can talk about you, Kath. So last time I told you that why you don't know Nepali, Kath, and you told me that I'm getting old, I cannot learn Nepali now. I wish I had met you 10 years back, like 10 years ago, and I would teach you Nepali. And today we would do seminar in Nepali language, Kath.
So thank you for that. But is there any chance you could have a couple of sentences in Nepalese to at the moment, just to sort of say what this is all about, so some might get it, or
Uh,
do you not think that's appropriate?
yes, like this they like I'm person full of love, so I will teach you one sentence.
No, no, I mean to the community.
Okay, to the community, of course.
Can you get this transcribed at all?
Yes,
Who is working on it.
yes, I'm
All right.
working on it. And
Okay,
I
Bendu
that's
was
good.
planning to like translate what you speak in English. She was planning to translate all this in Nepali so that all more
Oh,
viewers
good.
and all more people who need to hear it can get the message. She was
Yeah.
having this type of plan.
but
Oh,
you know what
fantastic.
happened? You know what happened? I cannot hear properly, and I might be interrupting you guys in between because I cannot hear properly. So the okay, I'll teach you one sentence, okay?
Okay.
म
More?
हजुर
Azud?
हरूलाई
Say it again.
हरूलाई
Odalai,
माया
Maya,
गर्छु.
Goshu.
Yes.
What does that say?
You said I love you all.
Oh, oh, which word was love?
Maya.
Maya. Oh,
You
that's an
can call
easy
me
one.
Maya.
Okay, Maya.
Oh, okay. So, are we coming to the end, or is there anything? Because I
Uh,
wanted to make this session a bit short so that people will come in, and because people were very scared when they saw like 1 hour, 1 hour, more than 1 hour session, that they were not, they didn't got time to see. So I'm trying to make this session a bit short. I'm going to eat it something, I guess.
yes, because I've got to have that meeting with Jocelyn soon as well. So I would like to close it off saying, together across the cultures and countries, we are one voice saying women's health matters and the silence must end. And viva la vulva.
We will evolve. And for you, Dr. Elena, is there any closing statement that you have?
Okay, I would also like to share one final message that if something feels not normal, please speak. Your voice is powerful and your health matters. So please, like, I want everyone to speak if something feels it's not normal. Like they don't
Yes,
have to
Dr.
suffer in silence. There is always help around you.
Okay. Now
And,
I
and,
And
want
and
to,
if someone
I want,
needs help,
I,
Elvis Talks is always there to support you. And we also have some personalities like Kath to share their stories also.
but I just wanted to say that Sunil, I know that he's a great support for you, uh, Benju, and my husband is a great support for me. So, let's also celebrate the men in our lives.
yes,
Yeah,
my
my husband is
husband,
also
Dr.
more
Elena's
supportive.
husband. Yes, of course. Like, like I know, Kath, Tony, your husband, he knows everything about you, like what you suffered from and what you are going through. Dr. Elena's husband, I'm coming up with Dr. Elena's story. her pregnancy story in upcoming session when she comes to Australia. And
Right.
we are going to sit in same pajama and we are going to talk about her pregnancy. Like, because I have seen that very closely and I want everyone to know that also, because that is
Yes.
also as important as the thing that we are discussing today. So I'm coming. My second guest is my co-founder, Dr. Elena. So the thing that Dr. Elena's husband did to her was one of the most powerful thing that I have seen. So I might get emotional because he was just by my side and I could see how much he was going through. And I cannot talk about Dr. Elena right now because she's like you. She's one of the brave women I have seen. She was not even crying when she was going through that much pain. She was telling me not to cry, don't cry, Benzu, I'm okay. And when I went home, I cried a lot by remembering her face. So I don't want to talk about this now. I
All
want to
right.
thank your husband, Tony. I want to thank Dr. Elina's husband and also my husband. My husband. So husband are like our husband is like someone who is like our husband is our biggest supporter. So every woman should feel comfortable to talk about their suffering to their husband and make them understand that what we are going through. They are very innocent that until and unless we don't share anything to them, they will not
Mm,
understand. Like I know
exactly.
you guys are accepting with that, because if I don't tell him that I am having period cramps and I will have different kind of moods when I
Mm,
I am like when I'll get my period. So this thing, if we don't share to our husband, they are not going to get it. So
that's right.
yes. So
Well
thank you.
said.
So I know you'll be more interested to talk. Let me see Tony. I know Tony is there.
No, he just took the clothes off the lines.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, we are going to wrap up this session. So I do have small Thanksgiving to you two ladies. So before we wrap up, I want to thank each and every one of you for being part of this meaningful session. I want to thank Kath. I want to thank Dr. Elena and everyone who supports Elvis Talks. And it's our mission to educate, connect, and inspire everyone. This platform is open to everyone. The people who wants to bring someone who has lots of knowledge and they are seeking for some platform to speak up. This platform is very open. And until next time, take care of yourself and remember every voice matter, every story counts, and every woman deserves to be heard. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.